and it's just rosé made out of Zinfandel. Other white computer. Turn off fridge.
Sorry, fridge isn't responding.
Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because I can't exactly buy him a cat monocle, can I? It's pretentious. Today, we're going to be doing a wine basics, and it's going to be all about rosé. Last week, on Friday, you may remember that we had Alex from Rockin' Rosé, Rock the Vine, on to talk about a really cool rosé event that I went to the previous weekend. And that just got me thinking that it is summertime. It's time for rosé. It's time to have, well, some beautiful pink wine, some blush, some, well, when you don't want white, but you don't want red, some rosé. All right, so, as I may have already said, rosé wine is sometimes referred to as pink wine, although not often, and blush for pale rosés. It can be any shade of pink, from slightly visible to pale red. Another term for rosé, or rosé made out of certain varietals, for example, white Zinfandel. White Zinfandel came into fashion in California in the late 1980s, and it's just rosé made out of Zinfandel. Other white wines made from red varietals can include, but are not limited to, Malbec, Cabernet, Grenache, and Barbera. Global production of rosé has increased greatly over the years. In 2002, 586 million gallons was produced worldwide. In 2011, 637 million gallons were produced. Let's talk about rosé around the world. France is responsible for 27% of the world's rosé production. Provence is the region best known for its rosé in France, but it also is common in the Southern Rhône, Languedoc, and the Roussillon. And let me just stop for a second and say, this is a 2017 La Rosé from Clos, which is one of my favorite wineries that I don't work for in Paso Robles. I had the opportunity to stop by and do some tasting there when my family was in town a couple weeks ago. But I always seem to end up buying one of their rosés. Well, all of their wines are great, but I always seem to end up buying one of their rosés if they have it open during a tasting when I'm there. As you can see, rosé kind of has a lighter look to it. Serve it cool, chilled. It's fantastic. I put it in this white sparkling glass to kind of help the flavors, the aroma go up and just attack the palate. But enough about what I'm drinking. Let's move on to Spain, shall we? There are two different terms for rosé in Spain: rosado and clarete, or possibly just claret. I don't speak Spanish, and I am horribly ill-prepared for this episode. But rosado is the lighter pink, and the clarete is the darker pink. Italy is not as big on rosé as some other countries. Rosé is generally referred to as rosato, but darker rosés can sometimes be referred to as ceretto, which is the Italian term for claret. The Spanish terms and the Italian terms, very similar. Maybe they have a source language. And then in German, there are two main words for rosé. One is Weissherbst, and the other is Rotling. There's also a third term, Schillerwein in Württemberg. Hopefully I said all those correctly. Now let's talk about how rosé is made. This, I know, is made from a designated block of grapes that are pressed off directly and made into rosé. There are a couple main ways to do it. The first way is direct pressing, where red grapes are immediately pressed off from the skins, like you would a white wine, assuming there's some pre-maceration going on, skin contact giving the wine a little bit of color. I assume darker grapes would go better with this process because they already have a little bit of color from the skin. A second way is short-term maceration or short maceration. Red grapes are processed as if making red wine, but the juice is pulled from the skins either by pressing or draining once the desired color or anthocyanin has been extracted. Now, this is still pre-fermentation. It's just a quick little dip on the skins, not to get too much color. You get the amount of color you want, pull it off, and then ferment. Finally, there's a third way, third main way. It is called saigner. It is a French term for bleed. Now, this is rosé that is made from the runoff from red wine processing, where certain amounts of free-run juice is bled off from the red grapes that are being crushed, and then taken and made into rosé. So, there you have it. 3 different ways to skin a cat or make a rosé. And they all produce some very excellent stuff. Rosés are all types. Some are sweet, some are dry. It's a nice dry rosé. It's quite tasty. And that's pretty much all I have for you today. So tell me, what kind of rosé is your favorite in the comments below. I showed you mine. Tell me yours. Thank you for watching Rewind with bschwitty. My name is bschwitty. You can find me on the social medias at bschwitty, etc., etc. And as always, I'll catch you next time.